Hi everyone, it is Leslie here from Lola Bell, and today I thought we'd do a slightly different tutorial. I thought we would do like a bale weave. So I'm just creating this pendant at the moment with this absolutely beautiful Lattice Sunstone, which has got the most amazing flash in there. And I thought, well, why not actually just come and do like a really simple wide bale. So I'm using 0.8mm square copper, and I'm going to be using a 0.4mm round weaving wire. So obviously we want to secure the pendant or all the wires together first off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a few wraps around all of these pendants, all of these wires, sorry, and just make sure that everything stays nice and in line. So once I've got a couple of wraps in there, I'm just going to give everything a bit of a squish together, tighten it all up, and then just continue that weave. So we're just going to be going around all of these wires. And we want to do maybe 6 to 10 individual wraps around all of these wires. We're just trying to hold everything nice and firmly in place. I want to keep all of the wires nice and tidy as well. Once we reach what we want, we're just going to give everything a bit of a smush, and then we're going to take this tail end. You can see there, obviously we've got all the wires around here. We're going to take this tail and we're going to bring it up through here. So we just want to secure this end of the wire, and just pulling it through just a handful of times, maybe 2-3 times, just to give it a secure fastening onto those wires. And then it's entirely up to you. You can either snip it off from in there, or you can go back round and do a couple of wraps around this back wire as well. I'm going to snip it there. I'm quite happy with that. That's going to be nice and secure. Okay, and then we're going to go back to this weaving wire. This weaving wire is on the spool, so it does reduce wastage quite a bit. But what we want to do is, for this particular design, I'm going to take the 2 front wires, so the ones that are side by side at the front there, and then the remaining wires which are behind it, I'm going to split them into left and right basically. So just having a look at which ones sit on what side, we're just going to move them over, and then again on the other side move them over. So they're just out of the way for a moment, because we want to be able to get to these 2 wires. So normally what I would do when doing a wide bale is get my fingernail in there, and then literally using my finger between the wires, I'm just going to come down and separate them out to a wideness or to an angle that I am happy with. And then with this one, I'm going to do 3 wraps around both of them. So just get that wire started. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 wraps around one side. So we're coming from the back up between the 2 wires and round. Okay, so we end up with this 2 single wraps. We're then going to take the wire back between, so it's coming to the front now. So I've turned the pendant around, so this is the back of the pendant. And then we're going to go 2 around the other wire. And we're going to come back round. I tend to do this from the back of the pendant. It depends what way around my wrap is going. But we essentially want to do 2 wraps around each wire, pushing them down so they're nice and tidy and all bunching up well together, and also not holding the wires so tight that you're actually pulling these base wires back in together. So you can see I'm starting to form like a pattern now. And you're just going to continue with that pattern, so 2 wraps on each side, always coming back between the 2 base wires, so you're kind of crossing over each time. And we're just going to keep that going until we've got enough height that we can start to work back inwards to create the back of the veil. So just keep that rhythm going. 2 on each side, crossing over in between the wires, and then back, other side, back. And it just gives you a really nice, easy but detailed veil design. Okay, so a few more. And all the time you want to be pushing those wires down so they're pushing into the last wrap. And using your fingernail is probably the easiest way to sort of do this without having to keep picking up pliers and sort of smushing them down together. Just keep that pattern going. 2 on each side. So I think we are right about the height I would like to be now. So I'm going to stop there for a second so you can see that the pattern is forming. And now what we want to do is, I'm just going to wrap it around this one because I get a bit funny about what side of the wire it's on. So what we want to do is we're going to pinch these 2 together and then just bring our finger between and just allow the wires to meet roughly the same distance away as where they start in here. And then we're just going to take our pliers and just bend those wires out, and then you're just going to pinch it in. So you've then got the shape of your veil, and then you can just carry on with that same weave pattern, 2 on each side, working your way back up towards where the wires meet. Now as you come back in towards each other, the wires do try and sort of slip up the base wires here, so it's a good idea to try and keep your finger holding those wires down. So once you push the wire down, just pop your finger on there, hold them all in place, and it just stops them all from sort of loosening off and shuffling around a little bit. It does depend on what kind of wire you're using as well. Some wires will stay where they're told to, others less so. And this is what I quite often say with wire wrapping. Once you find the wire that you like working with, everything kind of comes together a bit better. You start to sort of understand how that wire moves, and yeah, it just makes the whole design process so much easier. So we just want to keep going with this 2 wraps to each side and cross over in the middle until the wires are back together at the points. And I remember when I first started wire wrapping, like these kind of wraps looked so challenging to me. I was always a bit like, oh my goodness, that just looks really hard. But then as you practice, as you get used to your wire, you sort of keep going over the same sort of designs or sort of wrap patterns. It becomes easier. It becomes natural. So once we reach the point where the wires come back together, we're just going to go around both of them once, twice, 3 times, and then we're going to go around 3 times. So once, twice, 3 times. We're then going to snip that wire quite close, or as close as we can. And you'll see there's a little tail just sticking out the back here. With your pliers, just kind of pinch everything in really, and then straighten up these wires. Bring it all together. Straighten up the whole bail because it's gone a bit squiffy, and then just give everything a bit of a mush. Now I know some people do like to pre-shape their wires before they do the bail. I've never really found that works too well for me. Maybe my wire's a bit too soft. So we've got the bail, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get our bail making pliers, and we're just going to grip hold and then bend that whole weave over, bringing the wires back to meet the other wires back here. And then we're going to stand these up. Now what I'm going to do, now I'm bringing this around, so this is bail is at the front, so I'm going to push it back a little bit because I want it to sit between these wires, and then with these sort of bail end wires, I'm just going to bring them down so they're just coming down beside here, and then they're actually going to cross in and tuck in behind the pendant. So I'm just going to take a little nip off of there, and then with my pliers I'm just going to feed that wire in on itself. Trying really hard to stay in the shot, but I keep wandering, so I apologise if I do come off the camera. So that's one, and we've just secured it by hooking it over that back wire. We can do the same with this one. So we're just going to put it across, give it a snip, and then same thing. Just going to grab it and give it a squish. So now you can see that you've got the bail, which is secure, the stone, which we have not yet secured, the bail is there, and we've got these wires here to decorate. So this is one way to secure your bail wires, just tucking them in. You could wrap them around if you wanted to, or you could bring them around the back, hoop them over the back, and then again do the same sort of thing here. So this bail is just a really nice, simple, easy one to give you like an intricate design that's not too difficult to follow. And you can see it just gives you like a nice crisscross. Now this does, obviously it looks really nice oxidized, but give that one a go, see how you get on, practice it, just 2 around each side and crossing over between the 2 base wires, and then yeah, just keep practicing and get that bail nice and tidy. So I will leave it there because it's just a simple one. It's not a full pendant tutorial today, it's just the bail, but I hope you found that helpful. Obviously if you do, or if you've got any questions or comments, just let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe please as well, because I have got a lot planned for 2026 for the channel, and hopefully I will have you guys with me. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care, bye.